go to your 4-view mode, and inside the front view, we're going to attach an image so that we can trace, and we're also going to attach another image in our side view. So it's just these two. Okay, the top view, usually we don't draw from the top view, so we will leave this blank. But of course, if you model, right, you might want to check out the top view. Okay, but you don't need to put in any references. So perspective is for you to, of course, work in perspective mode. Okay, so in your front view, I'm going to space bar my front view. And under view, you want to choose image plane. And you want to choose import image. So of course, before I go ahead, right, you need to make sure you have a project folder. And in your project folder, under source images, you want to have your references here. So this turnaround, right, is done by a guy. I've attached his link on mail, so you can have a look at his work. It's under assignment 2, under turnaround. So I've put in a lot of the references, and this guy, his work is in ArtStation, so you can have a look at some of his dino stuff. In fact, I think his dino stuff is pretty cool. Okay, he has more than one, and it's a perfect example that I want to show you that day regarding how like people present their work in ArtStation. So they have one image, turn around. He has a lot more of like a series of dinosaurs and their turnarounds. And you can see very clearly, right, his color concept is very detailed. Okay, so in our case, we are doing 5 color concepts. So we are doing color blockings. We are experimenting with the different types of colors that we can mix and match. But once you've chosen the one that you like, right, you've narrowed down your design, you've narrowed down your color, you want to work on like a digital painting of it that shows the texture and the details. So for your robot, we should be able to see like paneling and things like that, rust and whatever that you choose to enhance. Okay, so it should feel like this is how it's going to look in 3D. Enough information for you to understand. You see, he even had like some kind of like skin wrinkle going on. Okay, so very cool stuff. We can take a look at his work. Right, so I think it's really very nice cartoony things. Even I'm looking at his work for the first time today. So I haven't really like seen all his stuff yet. Okay, so back to our recording. So we have placed our turnarounds, okay, inside the source images folder. So now we're going to plug it into our viewport. Alright, so under view, under image plane, you want to choose import image. Okay, and choose your image itself. Go to the side view and do the same thing. Okay.
Is there a resolution limit?
Don't have. Yeah, don't have. So once you have your stuff here, you want to start aligning your image plane so that you can like reference properly. Okay, so I'm having a hard time selecting it for some reason. Okay, I think something is off. Yeah, so I just turn on all objects. Alright, select your image plane, and in the front view, you want to make sure that your dino is standing, or your robot, right, is standing on the ground. Okay, so the feet should be grounded, and then you want it to be in the middle of the origin. And take note, right, your drawing will not be perfect. Okay, the left won't match the right, and even the side view won't exactly match the front view, because ultimately it's a 2D design, right? So you might want to compromise a little bit. Okay, so I rotate my image plane so it's facing the front. So your Z, right, your Z axis is the front view. Okay, so you want to kind of look at the small guy and position him. So you have something like that in your viewport.
Oh, that's so creepy.
Okay, now that you have him, you want to move the front view backwards. Move the side view to the side. So you have like a space in the middle to work from. Okay, but you don't want to shift away from the middle line. So front view should still be in the middle. Side view should still be at the side, alright? It's just that I push them behind the grid. So once you have that, you can start to, what I'll do is I'll create a display layer to store my image plane, right? So I'll select both of them. I will click on the layer. I will call this reference underscore lyr. You need an underscore. Okay, and you can hide, show them, you can, block them out as reference. And I will use a plane. So I'll create like a polyplane. And this will act as like a ruler. So I check if my work is matching up correctly. So let's say this is the top of the head. It should match up with the top of the head here, correct? So roughly around there. Duplicate, bring it down further. So I'm going to check the bottom of the head, the jaw. Same thing over here. Right, so you just want to check the major points like the head, the shoulder, and in our case, because we had Triceratops, right, it has this little like mane going on. So you want to kind of track that to make sure it is correct. Okay, so roughly there's a little bit of difference. So we're gonna just compromise. Okay, we need to see which view we want to work primarily from. Okay, so once you have the guides there, you can choose to hide it or delete it away. So I'm just gonna delete away. And I'm gonna create my block-in. So for block-ins, right, you just want to create like basic shapes and not exactly modeling here, okay? So maybe just lower my resolution so it's easy to handle. And then you just want to place it in the side view like this and check your front view. So you see, it's like front and side doesn't match, right? So you just want to figure out which view you want to follow. So side view gives me a lot more information. So I'm just going to mainly work from the side view. And you notice that you can't see through, right? So a bit no point if you cannot see any detail. So what you can do is to use the X-ray. So remember we got X-ray joints here. We can X-ray our mesh. And it's transparent, right? So if you want to see the wireframe, you can turn on wireframe on shaded. So now, without selecting it, you still can see your wireframe. So you can kind of use that as a guide. Okay, top view, we're not really looking at it. So same thing for front. You want to X-ray and you want to turn on wireframe on shaded. So very clear, it is already kind of off. In fact, if you want, right, you can adjust your image plane again to kind of match. Alright, and then you can create another circle or you can kind of duplicate it. Work on the tummy. Okay, front view. Okay, so it's a bit off, right? You can shift your frame a little bit. So if you cannot see your mesh, right, it's because your image plane is in front instead of at the back. So it's blocking everything else. So you want to make sure it's behind the grid. Okay, so you should be able to see your grid itself. And then you can see your mesh. So for the body, right, you can create like, let's say a cylinder, lower the resolution. Okay, bring it up. And then of course, it's alright to model a little bit. But you don't want your blocking to take up too much time. You're just here to make sure that the proportions are fine and everything kind of, it's a visual guide for you when you start modeling. You kind of just move it at the back. So just very slight modeling. Okay, so just keep doing that and focus on the left side and then the right side, and once you're done, you should have something like this. I did this model in the morning class, so it takes about 15 to 20 minutes. Yeah, very short. Shouldn't take more than that. Okay, so this is the end result that you can have as like a tracing point. So if you put it on reference or you put it on template, right, you can actually see this in 3D, and then you can kind of model from there. Okay, checking your proportions and things like that. So some people, they like the 3D blocking, whereas other people, right, they feel that they don't need the 3D view, especially for the face. They feel that they can visualize it in just looking at the image plane. So it's fine that you skip this step totally. So it's up to you. Okay, if you feel that you cannot visualize the roundness, right, then you might want to use the blocking. Okay, so for you guys that are doing robots, so all your challenges are definitely more unique and different. This is more for character. And last thing that I want to show you guys is some of the detailed, oh yeah, and if you want to start modeling, how you do that, right? So with the block-in, or even with your plain model, you can start to create your mesh. So again, you want to start on a low res. Okay, you don't want something too overly high because it's very hard to control. You might want to position the poles, right, to be 90 degrees. Okay, and we have some of the tools here which I will want you to explore on your own. So you can go and Google, you can check out how people do it. One of them is the soft selection mode, whereby you can move it like a plasticine. Okay, so I can select one point and I can move the rest organically. That is soft selection. I'm just actually selecting one point. Alright, so it can give you very nice organic like models that you can work from very quickly, just to shape up your stuff. Okay, so these are very good for like for mammals and organic stuff that you want to do. For hard surface, not so much. Okay, so this is how you can like start. Okay, so you can do it from the side view. You can use your vertex and move things around. Alright. Okay, secondly, multi-cut tool. So multi-cut tool, you can generally slice across your model. So remember we created edge loops and things like that, right? But if you want a custom slice, you can use the multi-cut tool itself. Okay, and just create slices in any direction. So it's very fast, very quick kind of workflow. Next up is bridging. So bridging is the act of joining two different pieces together. So let's say you have the body and you need the arm to be connected to the body, right? Usually what we will do is we'll model the arm separate from the body itself, so that we can make sure that the arm is round. Right? If you use, this is the one. Okay, if you use like cylinders for the arm, you can see it's completely round. But if you try to extrude from the body, right, you need to actually shape it slowly, make sure it's round, then you pull it out. So it can be very slow. So what we usually do is we build the body and then we build the arm. We make a hole in each of them, and then we use something called a bridge to join them together. Alright, so these are the three things that I want you to look at, okay, which will help in your modeling. So it doesn't matter if you don't use them, but just look them up, have a feel for what they can do, and then once you understand them, you can see if you want to apply. The moment you have the knowledge, right, you'll know that there's something like that that you can use. But if you don't even know it exists, right, then you will never know how to speed up your workflow.